Generation 6 of My Little Pony has recently been confirmed alongside this gorgeous official artwork piece that they've released at Comic-Con. I mean, just taking a closer look at it, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of the main 6, which is fine. I mean, if we just take a look at the logo, I mean, My Little Pony Forever Friendship, there's 4. So hiya, it's Songbird, and today I'm going to be drawing some redesigns, aka some what-if designs if Applejack and Rarity were in the Gen 6 art style that we just saw. Starting off with the one and only Applejack, I wanted to make sure that these designs seemed like something that could actually be in a future show, which by the way, I'm pretty sure Gen 6 is set to release in 2027, which is a lot sooner than we think. As someone who grew up absolutely loving Gen 4 series and movies and all the toys and dolls, seeing Gen 6 being announced alongside the characters being the same familiar faces that we knew from our childhood, it's a little bittersweet, I will say, because part of me really hoped that Gen 6 would be a clean slate, that they would start like how Gen 4 started, where it was set in a completely different but familiar world that we all came to know and love. So for my Applejack redesign, I wanted to go for something that was very, very familiar, but also slightly different. For this design, I mainly took inspiration from Generation 1 Applejack, alongside just wanting to push some more details and qualities about her that, really make her stand out, aka apples. The most notable thing you can see right now in my sketch is the fact that she has like the little hoof things that the rest of the new gen ponies have too, which is one thing I really liked about the new art style. It just makes it more pony-like. I'm not really sure how to describe it, but it's a really fun detail to add, alongside the fact that her new cutie mark is a singular apple with leaves that actually are a bow if you look super close enough, and that's supposed to pay homage to the fact that Generation 1 Applejack, alongside a lot of the other ponies, had bows on their tails, which I found so cute. And to keep up with the rest of the updates that the Gen 6 designs have gotten, I also changed up Applejack's mane a little bit into a very cute braid that matches her tail. As for her colors, I wanted to make them a little more cool toned than they usually are, and although it's really subtle, the orange of her coat is a tad bit more red, alongside with her golden mane being a bit more orangish. Now, getting to my most favorite part of making this redesign is coloring their eyes. The new Gen 6 eye designs are so pretty and detailed, and recreating that sort of design onto Applejack and using the cute little apple highlights in her eyes is so fun to do, and I love how vibrant it all looks once it's put together. For the main design itself, pun intended, I didn't really realize this until much later, but the colors that I chose for their manes were actually really similar to what their hair colors were like in Rainbow Rocks, I believe, when they ponied up and rainbow lasered the heck out of the Dazzlings. But red seemed like such a natural choice to give for AJ's hair, and once I was coloring it, I realized I could do something really funny here, and as you can probably maybe or may not see, I wanted the red in her mane to look like apples and apple slices, which is really cute when you put it together with her braid. So I'm basically applifying her design to the max. Another key feature that I wanted to talk about are the markings on her coat, alongside keeping her iconic and very adorable freckles on her face. I really love the coat design that Sunburst from Gen 4 had, and I really wanted to translate that kind of design onto AJ, because I feel like it just fits her so well, and it just adds to the whole horse pony thing. Oh yeah, another thing is that I realized that these ponies for Gen 6 have eyebrows, which Gen 4 did too, but only when they were like making expressions and they were frowning. So that's interesting to see, permanent eyebrows. Good for them. Good for them. As someone who has been doodling ponies since the dawn of time and making all sorts of very cringe and very atypical OCs of someone who was probably 8 or 9 years old, getting back to drawing ponies has actually been really fun and very nostalgic for me, and I didn't expect to so seamlessly get back into it. So, speaking of getting back into it, Rarity is up next. Just like with AJ, you can probably see that I'm keeping her design very, very familiar, just a tad bit different. One of the main differences you can see right now is her curved horn, which I love drawing on unicorns. I just think a curved horn adds so much. And before I get any more into it, I want to say that a lot of her design is inspired by Miss Main, which is one of the pillars from Generation 4. I absolutely loved the story of Miss Main, the episode where I think it was Rainbow Dash, Applejack, and Rarity were talking about their corresponding pillars, and the campfire to the CMC was so cute. One of my favorite episodes in the later seasons. So Miss Main was a heavy inspo for Rarity. I mean, just look at her. She's gorgeous. So I wanted to emulate a lot of that into this new design. And you can probably tell by now in the sketch too that her cutie mark is oh so different, and I wanted to emphasize her fashion, sewing talent alongside her gem finding talent in this cutie mark. So once I get into the line art, you'll be able to see a little more clearly that it's a little bow with a diamond in the middle. And speaking of diamonds, there's a very cute diamond earring on her ear that was inspired from Rarity in Equestria Girls, where she wears the same earrings. By the way, kudos to anybody who draws Rarity on a normal basis, because drawing her tail was so hard for me to do because I had to visualize what the curls would look like, and even though I had a reference of her nearby, it was hard translating that onto, well, not paper, but onto screen. Nevertheless, I'm pretty content with how it turned out, although I feel like her mane could look a little better. But regardless, now that we're getting into the coloring, I did change the background to be a darker gray just so I could see the super light cyan blue that I put for her coat. And I am absolutely in love with this shade of purple that I chose for her mane. Likewise with Applejack, I made it a little more cool toned and more vibrant so it would pop out. And yes, there is the very beautiful eyes that I had such a joy rendering. And yep, her iconic blue eyeshadow. I noticed that the new gen had a lot more blue incorporated into their designs. My favorite of which being Fluttershy, since the amount of teal that they've added to her design is so satisfying to see, especially because in Gen 4, the green in her design wasn't really pushed unless it was used in dresses, so I'm really glad that they're taking that teal in her eyes and adding it to her hair, alongside her new mane style, which is super cute. Speaking of manes, I've added stripes of pinkish red and blue that match her cutie mark into her mane, and I did realize halfway through that it was very Twilight Sparkle-esque, but I let it slide for myself because 1, I didn't want to change it, and 2, I figured it's different enough. Plus, I added these little diamond patterns on the ends of her hooves last minute because I figured her design needed a little more busy work going on. I did feel like it was a little more plain compared to Applejack's somehow. I was just really content with how Applejack's turned out, so I kind of held myself to a slightly higher standard than I did before. But now that I'm looking back at it, I really did like how this Rarity design turned out. In a good way, it feels very toy-like, as it kind of reminds me of all the brushable pony toys I had as a kid and all the make-believe stories that I would create. So I guess it was all for the best. Generation 4 of MLP really has been a lifelong interest of mine, and now that Gen 6 is very much in the works and set to release next year, I am so hyped for what is to come. Last, here we have our 2 redesigns of Applejack and Rarity, a what if imagining if they were in the new art style of Gen 6. Thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end. Make sure to subscribe and leave a comment if you want to see more redesigns. Until next time, bye-bye.